Hello again. Today we're going to play a little bit with Pinata inks. I've got Pinata Golden Yellow, Teal, and Senorita Magenta here. And today I'm actually going to use the Everclear, which is this is 190 proof, which is I get at a liquor store. Now, not all liquor stores sell this. Some, like I'm in North Carolina and I can't get it, so I have to go down to Jasper, Georgia in order to get the Everclear. But it's about $30 for that big half-a-gallon size, and it lasts quite a while. So if you can get it, I feel like it has less smell, and it doesn't seem to affect me as adversely as the isopropyl alcohol. When I give a big class in person, it is what I use because it seems to be much more healthier. So anyway, why I'm using it with the Pinatas is that the Pinata inks are based in ethanol, which is what Everclear is. So it seems to work well specifically with the Pinata inks. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did the last couple ones, but we're just going to kind of explore it. Whoops. Remember when I said make sure that you clean your tips off? I forgot to. And because I didn't have anything on that piece of paper, it didn't cause me a problem, but I'm going to clean off all of my inks that I'm using before I do this. One of the things I really like with the Pinata inks is that they do have white caps, so you're able to put the colors on the caps. So I can pretty much keep the caps and the colors together. So I've cleaned off my caps, and here I'm going to drop a drop of the Pinata. One of the things you will notice with the Pinata is that the nipple is larger, and this sometimes ends up looking like you have smaller dots. Today, for whatever reason, my dots are not going in a perfect circle. I don't know why. I am going to just add a lot of this color here. This is a Senorita Magenta. And then I'm going to put a little bit of I'm going to put the teal through, more at the bottom than at the top. And I'm going to try to just throw some alcohol on it and let it just see what happens. I want to just end up with a lot of color on my paper. Some dark areas, some light areas. What you'll see is that this really does mix well together, and that you don't need a whole lot of the colors to get a lot of color throughout here. I might want to put a little more yellow up here, and I can pick it up and let it move around. I love the purple that the teal and the magenta make together, and I love the green that happens with the other. And a lot of times people want to blow on it to kind of move, which is an option. I don't highly recommend blowing it with your own air. I think that it works better if you use something that will actually blow it. Some people use blow dryer, some people use camera bulbs. I don't do a lot of blowing because, again, I don't want to have a whole lot of this. There's the Everclear is in this bottle. I don't want to have a whole lot of this of the alcohol in the air. I really do prefer that I don't have a whole lot of alcohol in the air. It is somewhat toxic, so it's not the best thing I've ever done for myself. So here I go, and I've got, as you see, as I pick it up, it also moves. So sometimes I pick it up. I never know what this is going to be. Sometimes it's flowers, sometimes it's cliffs, sometimes it's trees. You know, I don't necessarily go in with a huge expectation. Sometimes I'll have a general idea of what I'm looking for in a painting, and then I can plan a little bit. But today we are just looking for abstract shapes. It looks like I need a little bit of the blue up here. I love the blue and I love that purple that it makes, and I'm just continuing to let it become. I could even put a little bit of alcohol on and watch it move a little more. Seeing what we have for shapes that are appearing, seeing what's coming out of it. Well, I love the brilliance of the Pinata inks. They're very highly pigmented. They seem to be more highly pigmented than the Rangers even. So I love how they mingle really well together, and I love all of the colors that are coming out of it. One thing I will say is it does take some time to, when you're playing with this, it's going to take some time to wait till the colors settle, because the colors I see on the paper are not the end colors usually. So if I see these beautiful pink colors, they may end up becoming something else. So again, I put Everclear in the in my alcohol here, so I'm going to use some of that to just put some drips and dots in here. Let's see what happens. As I said, I hadn't had a real plan on this painting. I'm just letting it be what it wants to be. And this again is the ethanol here. And now the question is exactly what do I want to do with it? What do I see, if I see anything in here? What's of interest? Sometimes you don't have to, I mean, you can make something abstract and not really, you know, it can be fairly non-representational. I know for me, I tend to go towards some kind of representational something. I do like flowers. I also like mountains. I'm not quite sure. I just put some of the green in my of the teal in my painting, and now I'm just giving some more teal dots here and there. Putting circles. I have done entire paintings of circles before, and they're actually rather interesting. So I want my lights and my darks being able to be shown here. I still don't have a plan for this yet. Cleaning up what I like and what I don't like. I'm not real thrilled with this very, very dark area here. So I can either try to pull out some color, which I'm doing right here, and then maybe infuse a little bit of alcohol in it to see what happens. I'm still looking. And sometimes I just go, okay, this didn't actually work the way I was hoping it would work. But what happens if I put, like I did before, I ended up putting strips of color through, just letting some light come in by letting the natural luminosity of the alcohol inks kind of become. Now what I know is going to happen is that this, I love the mixtures of the colors that are happening here, but it is going to get a bit darker. I could, I guess, put a little bit of alcohol in when I do it, and maybe it would lighten it up a bit. I don't know, I'm just working on instinct here and seeing what happens as it just becomes whatever it wants to become. And I just stare at it. I mean, I'm not really attached to what's happening. I really like what's happening over here. I'm not sure what I want right here. Bring some more of that down in there. It's just got some lovely colors have occurred there. And I don't know whether I want that up there or not. Not really. I think I'll let it come back down here. So this is playing. It's just kind of working on what exactly are your inks doing when you put them together. Are they blending? Are they moving each other out of the way? I don't want to get too many of the dark lines. That's I don't like when it gets really, really, really dark. But I like some of what's happening here. So I'm just going to keep on going with this. Not sure what exactly it is, but I like the rhythm that's happening here. I may need to give a lighter color to some of this. I can pull off some stuff. This is looking fairly otherworldly to me at the moment. And I'm not quite sure how I want to get some more color in there. I like some of it. I like this area in here. I'm not sure about that. So what's next? This actually became a beautiful color. And those blue dots are, I like how they've kind of faded in and out of things. Do I really want another yellow? Or so here I'm going to bring another piece through here and see what that does. I like the brilliance of color here. I'm feeling that I do need, everything is going horizontal at this point. I'm not sure what I want, if I want to continue that horizontal or whether I want to let these colors just become something else. Now I put the blue and that orange or the yellow together, and it seems to make some kind of a luscious tree line. And I may want to try the same thing here. Blue and yellow. Let's see what happens there. I might want to pull it up a little bit. Again, I'm just playing. I don't know what this is going to become. The painting will tell me where it wants to go if I just kind of allow it to become what it wants to become. That's really pretty there. I love the little orange or the red that just came up out of there. This is becoming a little too pink for me. So I might do another level of orange through here. And do I want to try a little bit of the green too? Let's see what happens if I let this come down into here. I can also, like if it starts to get too dark and I want to get rid of it, you can see how I can just pick up some of these colors and put them on the paper, take them off. Now that looks like some kind of luscious little pond of some kind that's reflecting all of the other interesting colors that are up there. I'm going to put another row of those, whatever I'm doing with that. Hold it upside down so it goes up. See what happens here. Not fond of what's happening here, but I love these little pieces that are occurring. It's very otherworldly, like I'm on Mars or something. June Rollins calls some of her paintings, she calls them dreamscapes, and that's a little what this is reminding me of, though I'm not doing any of the techniques that June uses. But this is looking to me as if it is a dreamscape, somewhere in another world with wonderful, luscious colors and things just occurring. For some reason, it picks this yellow. If I have some of the magenta underneath of it, the red separates out and becomes these little, I'm not sure what they are. I'm in another universe and they have really interesting things happening. So I like this, I like the rhythm. I feel like something needs to be in here, whether it's just another line of these, whatever this is, a tree or the top of a hill. I'm not sure what it is, but so this is one of the ones that I would probably end up doing some kind of either doodling on or just working on kind of acceptance is the answer to all of my issues today. I'm liking it a lot. I'm not that thrilled about what I would consider would be the sky, but I might come up with a solution for that in a few moments of just lightening it a bit and see what happens. So, what do I like? The dots have become things. I don't know what they are. This is a bit too light, so I'm thinking I need to get a little bit of some kind of other color in there. Whoops, that's more than I wanted, but hell, let's go up with it. And again, you can take things away just by pulling it out. So if that was, to me, it was darker than I wanted it to be, but I just pulled some out. And then I'm going to have to put another layer of something sweeping through. See how the sweeping through works. Okay. Well, I really like the hills here. I want to put another something coming in this direction. And I want it to come down. May have put too much. So if I think I put too much color, can you see it just pulling the color off here? Because I want more of the luminosity. I didn't want the darkness. Let's go over here and let's pull down. Now it is in the distance, so in some ways I want some darkness back there, but I don't want quite as much. And I want it to remain that fluid look. So far I like a lot of it. I'm not liking the sky, but what I'm going to do for the sky is just lighten it. So again, I'm going to turn it so I'm holding the paper upside down. And I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to just let it drip. So it's going to end up with much less color. Oh, maybe I like it. I don't know. It looks very otherworldly again. What's going to happen when it lays down? Is it going to... I don't like that right there. But I don't know if I can do anything about it. It appears to need to soften. Ooh, no. Every action has a reaction. So what's working here and what's not working? My sky is much less soft than I wanted. But, you know, I may want to soften the sky with another tool. So what happens if I just take a little bit of alcohol and wet the entire sky. Remember, this is very otherworldly. You don't know what the other sky's clouds are going to look like. But just wet it. Okay. I think I like that. It looks pretty interesting. I don't like what's happened right next to the hills, but I may just put another set of hills in there, I'm not sure. Or I may see what happens right here at the corner if I just give it a little more texture. I'm liking that better. So I love the colors in the foreground. I'm not totally thrilled with the sky. I don't know whether I want to literally just take it off, which is another option. So there's going to be colors underneath the sky, but if I just work on taking most of the sky color out, this is where working on something like the craft paper works a little better, because I could get this sky right back to a solid white if I was working on something other than UPO. With UPO, as you can see, it does stain a little. But I have pulled the sky back to the stain and really liked it too, because I like the look of Okay, so now I have a very, very quiet sky. The question is it the sky for my bright? And I don't think it is. So what could I do? I'm sticking with these three colors. So I really don't want to paint the sky up, but I could use something that would make the sky softer and bluer. I could use some of the white. Pinata does have what they call blanco blanco. And if I use the blanco blanco, it is going to give it a bit of a softer look. It should pull up the colors from underneath and just make it really soft. Now the difficulty with blanco blanco is it sometimes clumps, so you really have to use it either with the blending solution, the Claro extender, which I have, or the Everclear. It doesn't work well with the isopropyl alcohol. So here I am. I'm just going to put this whiteness in the sky. And what I'm hoping that it's going to do is it's going to soften all of these underneath colors and it's going to pull up a bit of the underneath colors to just look like it's almost jewel-like white filled with light, which I think it was fairly successful with that. So you can still see what's happened underneath, but it is a much lighter sky. And what I will probably do is put a sun or something right in this area here, and just let it kind of become. I might even do that just with a drop of the white. We'll see. I could also put there I go. And so now if I do that, I pretty much have to just let it sit for a while. The look I'm looking for is otherworldly, So this keeps on growing really large, and I could maybe eventually put another dot in it. But for right now, I'm liking the otherworldly look of the sky. It's nice, soft. It says sky to me. And I'm liking just about everything in the bottom here, except for I'm not real thrilled about this very bottom piece. I think I probably will, and I'm not totally thrilled about right over here. But that just needs a little bit of... You don't want to mess with it too much, because what'll happen is you'll end up with areas that don't look as fluid. I love the fluid look of this painting right now. I think the moon thing got a little bigger than I wanted, but at this point I'm going to just go for it. It looks huge. But I will just contemplate that. And I do want to end up with just a little more color right down in this area. So I just put a whole, whoops, I just pulled a bit of that down to see if I could soften some of this. And I may even pull a little bit up into this just to play with it. So for right now, I'm thinking that is my semi-abstract, maybe landscape, otherworldly, not sure what painting. Thank you. So I'm back again. I'm working through the problems of this painting. And the biggest problem that I see, first I put one drop of the Pinata yellow in, and it helped. There was just no warmth. The sky was so cool and the painting is so warm that I was stuck in this place. So it's better, but I still don't like it. So one of the things that I'm thinking of doing is trying to get some crazy color clouds in here. So again, I've got my Pinata Blanca, and I'm going to just run a cloud or two through, and then maybe put a little bit of yellow in said clouds, trying to make it not end up too, whoops, pinky in the clouds. Cleaning off. Let me get this a little bit. So, otherworldly. Well, that's interesting. Making some otherworldly clouds with the pink and the blue and the yellow just kind of showing through. That actually is looking better, because what it's doing is it's giving me enough definition around the sky that it doesn't look totally cleaning up. I even want to see what happens if I just put a little stuff through. I like the blue that's happened there. I prefer that sky. I'm going to soften in places to the other sky in that it just has some warmth in it, some color, some blue. It still looks kind of otherworldly, but it's not totally out of realm of possibility for sky. And probably I'm only going to see parts of it. But I like the softer, cloudier look. Does that make any sense? With a little bit of the yellow showing through. And I may take just a little bit of the yellow and come back up and highlight just a few places. So it looks warmer. Yeah, that to me for the painting is a better sky. I think I would have, I'm not really sure exactly what I should have done to it. I just needed more warmth. It's still not really fabulous, I don't think. So why don't I try a little more of the... Let's just see what happens if I just let it become again. But this time with some yellow in it. I just didn't like the coolness of the sky. I'm liking this a bit better, bringing it right down to the mountains. Letting it just become. Okay, I actually think that may be the sky I end up with. It's not quite sure, cloudy, not cloudy. It looks like it's a bit cloudy, but with a little bit of sun coming through, early morning light, I think I'm going to call that a sky.